Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they lie to themselves every single day. They rename fear as patience. They rename comfort as strategy. They rename avoidance as peace. Machiavelli warned about this hundreds of years ago. The most dangerous lie in your life is not the one someone else tells you. It's the one you quietly repeat to yourself when no one is around. It's the excuse you recycle until it sounds like reality. It's the story you cling to so you can sleep at night while your dreams quietly die in the background. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 8 hard Machiavellian principles that rip the mask off self-deception and show you why ruthless honesty with yourself is the root of power, clarity, and control. This isn't inspiration. This is psychological warfare against your own weakness. It's about standing in front of your reflection and saying what's real, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Because the sting of truth is short-lived. The damage from lying to yourself lasts. By the end of this, you'll understand why Machiavelli believed self-deception is the opening move toward defeat, and why the strongest thing you can do is stop shielding yourself from reality. Type this affirmation in the comments: I choose truth. Let's begin. 1. Comfort is usually a pretty lie. One of the most common lies people tell themselves is, I'm waiting for the right time. In plain language, that means I'm avoiding discomfort. They're not being strategic. They're hiding. They're not being patient. They're frozen. They dress it up in phrases that sound intelligent and wise, but it's not wisdom. It's weakness disguised as logic. Machiavelli understood that power favors the ones who move, not the ones who stall. Action builds momentum. Delay rots progress. Comfort is the sedative that keeps you in place. It whispers, you're okay here. Don't risk it. Don't stretch. Don't push. And you obey, because in the moment, comfort feels good. But here's what comfort actually does. It turns you into someone predictable, and predictable people have no power. When you're comfortable, you're not evolving, you're not sharpening, you're not testing limits. You're just maintaining, cruising, hoping things work out without you ever stepping into real risk. That's exactly what others want. Competitors like you, comfortable, because you won't push hard. Enemies like you, comfortable, because you won't resist. Your own mind likes comfort, because discomfort demands energy, courage, and focus. Comfort demands nothing. That's the trap. Comfort convinces you everything is fine, that you have time, that there's no urgency. Meanwhile, the world is moving. Opportunities are disappearing. Time is evaporating. Others are making the moves you've been postponing. One day, you don't know when, you'll realize comfort never protected you. It just quietly contained you. Ask yourself, what am I labeling waiting for the right time that's actually fear? What am I calling being smart that's actually playing small? What am I calling strategy that's actually delay? If you're brutally honest, you'll see it. Comfort has been whispering in your ear while your potential starves. And once you see it, you break it by acting, not by thinking about it. Type this: I choose discomfort. 2. Self-deception is the first sign of weakness. Here's a hard truth. Lying to yourself feels safe. It feels like self-protection. It feels like you're easing the pressure. In reality, it's slowly draining your strength. Every lie you tell yourself trades awareness for fantasy, trades growth for ego protection, trades control for confusion. Machiavelli studied those in power and noticed the pattern. They usually weren't crushed by enemies. They were crushed by misjudging themselves. They bought into their own myth, ignored where they were weak, convinced themselves nothing could touch them, right up until the moment something did. Here's the truth. If you don't see your own flaws clearly, someone else will, and they'll use them. Your blind spots become their leverage. Your denial becomes their opening. Your illusions become their tactics. When you lie to yourself about your abilities, you don't train. When you lie about your habits, you don't change them. When you lie about your reality, you don't fight to improve it. You just adjust the story. You become comfortable with good enough. That's where weakness begins, not in the outside world, but in your refusal to acknowledge reality. The moment you start deceiving yourself is the moment you give control away to forces you won't even see coming. You're no longer dealing with the real you. You're dealing with a fantasy version in your head, and you can't win against something that doesn't exist. So, Principle 1. Self-deception is not your ally. It's your enemy. It's not softening the blow. It's softening you. The remedy? Brutal honesty. Look straight at who you are right now, not the image you sell, not the future version you dream about, the one who exists today. Habits, discipline, follow through. That's where power begins, in what's real, not what's rehearsed. Type this: I see myself clearly. 3. Excuses are weak stories you tell to stay small. How many excuses did you use this week? I was too busy. I'm tired. I'll start when things calm down. How often did you explain why you didn't do something instead of just doing it? Every excuse you accept is you signing off on your own failure. Every time you justify instead of adjust, you hand control of your life to something outside of you: time, luck, other people. Machiavelli had no patience for that mindset. He knew excuses are narratives the weak use to dodge responsibility. Responsibility is heavy. It means if your life is off course, you're the one who has to correct it. Excuses are light. They let you say, it's not really on me. Yes, maybe. You did have limited time. You did have fewer resources. You did have unfair circumstances. But obstacles are constant. They're not special. The real question is, do you let them define you, or do you find a way around them? Excuses are just stories. Stories can be rewritten. I didn't have time. I didn't make it a priority. I didn't have resources. I didn't get resourceful enough. No one helped me. I didn't build the right connections. One mindset leaves you powerless. The other gives you options. Excuses snowball. The more you lean on them, the more natural they feel. Eventually, your whole life becomes a list of reasons instead of results. That's not a life. That's a long explanation. Stop explaining, defending, protecting your limitations. Start owning them, naming them, working through them. Swap: I couldn't, for I chose not to. I didn't have time, for I didn't prioritize it. It wasn't the right time, for I was afraid. Painful, yes, but that kind of honesty gives you levers to pull. Type this: I own my choices. 4. If you can't look reality in the face, you can't influence it. Power starts with seeing clearly. Not the world you wish existed, the one you're actually in. Most people don't want that. They want a fair system, a world that rewards effort, circumstances that match their intention, and when life doesn't follow that script, they feel cheated. Machiavelli didn't spend time on should, he focused on is. Self-lies blur your vision. They make you see potential as reality, hope as evidence, isolated moments as patterns. That warped view leads to terrible choices. You partner with people on who they could be instead of who they've shown themselves to be. You stay in situations because of rare highs instead of overall trends. You keep sinking time into failed plans because admitting defeat hurts. All of that comes from one refusal. You don't want to admit what's staring back at you. Clarity doesn't care about your pride. It doesn't care about your comfort. It's unbiased. Sometimes it tells you, you're not good enough at this yet. This environment does not respect you. This approach is failing. Yes, that hurts. But what hurts more? Living 5, 10, 20 years inside an illusion, and then realizing you could have corrected course if you'd just been brave enough to look. Be harsh with yourself in the right direction. Ask, is this working, or am I simply attached to the idea that it should? Am I valued here, or merely used? Am I leveling up or stagnant? Is this solid, or am I living in hope? Don't answer based on what you want. Answer based on evidence. Use ugly truths as building blocks, not reasons to collapse. You can't steer what you refuse to see. Real control starts with reality, not fantasy. 5. Your feelings don't decide what's true. Here's a hard pill. Feeling right doesn't make you right. Feeling secure doesn't mean you're safe. Feeling confident doesn't mean you're prepared. Your emotions are not objective truth. They are signals, loud ones. Emotions exaggerate the small, downplay the big, make you impulsive in the moment. If you treat them as commands instead of information, you sabotage yourself. Machiavelli cautioned against decisions made from emotion instead of strategy. Emotions are short-term, easily manipulated, based on comfort right now, not consequences later. You feel rage, you say something that detonates a relationship. You feel ecstatic, you overcommit. You feel fear, you never even take the shot. In every moment, those choices feel justified. Months later, they look reckless. Emotion soothes your ego. Truth secures your position. You're not supposed to ignore feelings. You're supposed to interpret them, not obey them. Fear. There's risk here. No, plan better. Don't automatically run. Anger. A boundary was crossed. No, enforce it strategically, not explosively. Excitement. There might be opportunity. No, evaluate it. Don't blindly chase. Ask, is this feeling sharpening my view or fogging it? Will acting on this today serve me 6 months from now? How would the most strategic version of me handle this? The emotional version of you is easy to provoke, easy to manipulate, easy to predict. The version of you that acknowledges feelings but responds with strategy, that version is hard to move. That's the version Machiavelli would bet on. 6. People can feel when you're faking it to yourself. People notice when something in you doesn't line up, even if they can't describe it. Self-deception leaks. It leaks through your nervous talking, your overcompensating, your constant need to justify. When you're not straight with yourself, you try too hard, explain too much, perform instead of exist. Others may not identify the specific lie, but they feel a lack of solidity that reads as weakness. But when you're brutally honest with yourself, something in you settles. You stop trying to prove, trying to impress, trying to pretend. You just are what you are, strengths and flaws both. That creates alignment between what you think, what you say, what you do. People feel that cohesion. It broadcasts as calm, gravity, quiet confidence. It's not arrogance, it's congruence. That congruence creates influence without you forcing it. You don't need to shout or sell your worth. People sense, this person is not faking. No mask, no show, no double life. Truth is more powerful than polish. You don't win by pretending. You win by aligning who you are internally and externally. Get real with yourself, and respect yours and theirs starts to form on its own. 7. The lies you tell yourself are the strings others pull. A person who doesn't understand their own drives and fears is easy to steer. When you hide from your own desires, fears, insecurities, you give others the ability to weaponize them. If you secretly crave approval but won't admit it, praise controls you. Secretly dread rejection but deny it, exclusion controls you. Secretly doubt your skills but pretend otherwise, criticism controls you. Those pressure points stay powerful because you refuse to own them. The second you say to yourself, yes, I like being acknowledged. Yes, I am afraid of failing publicly. Yes, I do feel insecure here. You strip those things of their ability to ambush you. Machiavelli knew that rulers who lacked self-knowledge were puppets. Flatter them right, and they'd make bad calls. Offend them slightly, and they'd overreact. Threaten their image, and they'd crumble. The leaders who were hardest to manipulate were not flawless. They were aware. They knew, this is where I'm vain. This is where I'm sensitive. This is where I overreach. So when someone tried to pull those strings, they saw it. The same is true for you. Know what you want, what you fear, where you're soft, where you're strong. Then those things stop being secret levers for other people and start being factors you manage intentionally. Type this. I know myself. 8. Truth hurts, but power sits on top of that hurt. Facing your own limitations, fears, failures, hurts. Truth is not designed to be gentle. It's designed to be accurate. But Machiavelli understood something crucial. Short, sharp pain now protects you from years of slow collapse later. The pain of truth is direct, intense, short. The pain of self-deception is dull, lingering, accumulative. It shows up as regret. What if, I could have, I should have. You get to choose the sharp cut of honesty today or the chronic ache of regret later. One requires courage for moments, the other demands quiet surrender for years. Machiavelli chose truth, not because he loved suffering, but because he knew all lasting power is built on reality. Every real foundation stands on hard facts, not flattering illusions. Every real transformation begins with, "This is not working. I need to change." That realization slices your ego, but it also frees your future. Truth strips away delusion, excess, performance. What's left is the actual you, the only one who can build something real. So don't run. Let truth cut. Let it carve away what doesn't serve you. If you want power, grow. Stop lying to yourself. Control. Stop cushioning your ego. Strength. Choose truth over comfort again and again. The instant you stop deceiving yourself is the instant you stop quietly losing in the background. Machiavelli wasn't interested in fantasies. He was interested in reality, effectiveness, the divide between those who win and those who don't. And that divide is almost always this: winners look at themselves honestly and act. Losers keep telling themselves comforting stories and wait. So decide. Are you going to keep whispering gentle lies to keep yourself calm? Or are you going to face the brutal truths that could actually set you free? The truth will hurt. The lie will destroy. Choose. If this hit you, press like, share it with someone who needs this wake-up call, and subscribe. We're just getting started. There's more truth coming. If you're ready for it, I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp.